Hey guys, yesterday we looked at the where and the when blocks. Today we're going to take a careful look at the how and the why blocks. You should have a page in your notebook that will look like this. Mine is backwards because it's on camera, so it doesn't, whoa, it says how. And then you've got the two examples right there. You're also going to have free why pages to glue down. There's these two. And this one, because there are frequent pages, there's 3 different ways to make y. And so that's what we're going to look at. All right, let's look at these how blocks first. So I know that I've already told you that there is one way to make a how block with an adverb. And you'll notice that on this list, there are a couple of adverbs, I believe. Yeah, but just a couple. So let's go ahead and underline the adverbs. We have hesitantly and courageously. All right, and so let's look at the rest of these phrases. We don't know what they are yet. So we've got in a hurry. Let's start with the obvious. Is that a prepositional phrase? Do we have a preposition? We do in. Do we have an object of the preposition? We do hurry. So in a hurry is used as a noun here. So in a hurry is a prepositional phrase. Without complaint. Without is a preposition. Complaint is the object of the preposition, and it tells how. How without complaint. Like a detective is another way to tell how. So here we have which is a preposition, and detective is the object of the preposition. In a calm and collected way. So here we have in is a preposition, and way is the object of the preposition. Calm and collected are adjectives to describe way. With great curiosity. So here again, with is a prepositional, and curiosity is the object of the preposition. So let's see if we have the same thing here. We have a dancer in an awkward manner without a second thought by practicing every day. So practicing is our object of the preposition. So by practicing every day is how. In a clumsy fashion. In a fashion. Clumsy tells more about fashion. It's another adjective. With nervous laughter. Again, we have with and laughter. That is a prepositional phrase. Via an encrypted message. Via is a preposition. That's a newer one. Message is the object of the preposition. With an air of mystery. With is a preposition here. And air is the object of the preposition. In a sneaky way. In a way. And with a positive expression. So with is our preposition and expression is our object of the preposition. So it's pretty easy to differentiate between the adverbs and the prepositional phrases for how blocks. And those are the two different ways that we can make our how blocks. If you'll notice, you have a sheet like this. And what I want you to do is go through, and when you see an adverb, all you have to do is underline it. You can use green if you have it. Otherwise, pencil or a pen, whatever you have is fine. And for the prepositional phrases, you're going to do like I did. You're going to circle the preposition, underline the object of the preposition, and then draw an arrow between the preposition and the object of the preposition. So go ahead and finish these. And then we'll move on. All right, let's take a look at some how blocks and differentiate them, which, like I said, should be pretty simple for you to do, as long as you can pick out the how groups. So we'll start by simply highlighting with green when we see a how. First sentence. Nervously, Liam trudged into the bustling schoolyard on his first day. How? Nervously. He scoured the crowd for friendly faces with a hopeful smile. With a hopeful smile tells how. Leo stumbled upon the soccer team practicing diligently. And so again, we've got diligently. So let's look at these three that we've selected. Nervously, is that a prepositional phrase that tells how, or is that an adverb, ly, tells how? Adverb, so let's label that there. Label the other adverb. And then here we have a prepositional phrase that tells how. For the next several weeks, he meticulously practiced dribbling on the playground. How did he practice? Meticulous. And that is an adverb, so we're going to label it how-ly. With confidence, Liam strolled into the soccer team tryouts. How did Liam stroll? He strolled with confidence. So again, we have prepositional phrase. At tryouts, he weaved the ball with impressive precision. So weaved the ball how? With impressive precision. And that is prepositional phrase that tells how. Like a seasoned pro, he rifled the ball accurately to his teammates. So how? Like a seasoned pro. And that is a positional phrase that tells how. And finally, with the sun beginning its descent, they reached the summit at last. How did they reach the summit? With the sun beginning its descent. With the sun beginning its descent. And again, we have a phrase. So we'll stick this right here. All right, so I believe you've got something similar to work on. And it looks like this. You're going to read each sentence below, underline the how block, or highlight it in green, and then indicate whether the how block is an adverb, and you'll write how-ly, or prepositional phrase. So you'll write pp how. Write the label under the how block. All right, so let's look at that. The first two are done for you. They're underlined and marked in green. Patiently, Anya explained the basics of casting. So what we have here is a 3-action pattern with some how blocks. Demonstrated the smooth motion and cast her line with practiced ease. So let's go ahead and mark Anya. And then here we have our two Y groups. And let's do one more together. So number 2, you don't have to worry about the red and the blue. We're only going to highlight the green for this one. Kai attempted to mimic her awkwardly as his hands fumbled with the fishing rod. So here we have awkwardly, and we're going to label that one as position, because that's an adverb that tells how. All right, so go ahead and finish this activity. It goes to 11, and then we'll move on here tomorrow. Now let's take a look at our final action block that we're going to look at this week, which is the Y block. There are actually 3 different types of Y blocks, so I'm just telling you these up front. You get a little break this time. First, we have prepositional phrases, which we've looked at before. And as you'll remember, we're going to mark those. Let's see. So with prepositional phrases, we're going to circle the preposition. Just pretend a little bit with me here. Underline the object of the preposition. Remember how we did that? And then draw an arrow. So I'm just showing you a little key. I know this is not literal. Remember that for dependent clauses, we found the me, subject, and predicate inside the phrase or the clause. And then we did that. There's some examples. And then when you see an infinitive phrase, we're going to mark it like this. Like a little dome. Semicircle. Okay. All right. So let's look and see what we have here. These are all different ways to tell why. For the sake of her safety. What do we have here? For is a preposition. For the sake of her safety. Do we have an object in the preposition? Yes. For the sake, and then of her safety just further modifies sake. Next, we have since no one else dared. We have since, which could be a preposition. Since no one else dared. But as you can see, we also have a subject, no one else, and an action, dare. So since no one else dare. So this is a dependent clause. To reach new heights, here we have to, which could be a prepositional phrase. Reach new heights, but here we have a verb. What do we have here? So when you see to followed by a verb, that is an infinitive phrase. To reach. So if our Y block starts with to plus a verb, that's an infinitive phrase. So to reach new heights. In response to the challenge. So in response is the prepositional phrase. In response is the object of the preposition. To the challenge further modifies response. Because of her desire to help others. Because of could be a preposition. So let's see. Because of her desire. Oh, here we have to help. So we have to plus a verb. But because it doesn't start with to help others, it is not an infinitive phrase. Because of her desire, that is a preposition and an object of the preposition. Why? Because of her desire to help others further modifies desire. Courageously is a help block. Don't worry about that. Skip that one. That's there by mistake. All right. In honor of their brave ancestors. In honor is a prepositional phrase. Of their brave ancestors modifies honor. To win the science fair. Here we have to plus a verb. That's an infinitive phrase. To win the science fair. Since they wanted to solve the puzzle first. Here we have since, could be a preposition. They wanted. Oh, what is that? That is a subject and verb. So since they wanted to solve the puzzle first, that modifies wanted. So this is a dependent clause. For the thrill of it is a simple prepositional phrase. For what? For the thrill, we don't have the subject and predicate. We don't have a to plus a verb. It's a simple prepositional phrase. And finally, to learn more about ancient civilizations. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty easy because we have to plus a verb. So to learn more. And then about ancient civilizations tells us more. More. You're going to go back to, and see. There it is. Back to this page, into the Y part. And you're going to mark these just like I did. So let's practice looking at and labeling some Y blocks. Under the Friday night lights, the quarterback launched a perfect spiral toward the end zone. Look smooth this. To secure a touchdown before halftime. So we're looking for a Y. Under the Friday night lights, that tells where. The quarterback, that's a subject. A perfect spiral is our action. Toward the end zone tells where. To secure a touchdown before halftime. So, do we have a prepositional phrase? We have a to. Secure a touch. No, that's way more than just an object of the preposition. So do we have an infinitive phrase? We have to. Secure, so to then a verb. So yes, we do. So we have an infinitive phrase that tells why. To secure a touchdown before halftime. All right, next. The wide receiver locked his eyes on the ball, sprinted down the field, and caught the ball because he was wide open. So here we have a 3-action pattern. I hope you saw that. He locked his eye on the ball. The wide receiver was the subject, sprinted down the field, and caught the ball. So then, because he was wide open, is our Y block. And let's see, is it a prepositional phrase? It has because more than just an object of the preposition. He was wide open is actually a noun and a verb. So what is that called when we have a little miniature sentence within our sentence? That is a dependent clause that tells why. To reach the end zone, the running back burst through the defensive line like a lightning bolt. So why did the running back burst through the defensive line? To reach the end zone. And what kind of Y block is that? We have to and then a verb. That is an infinitive phrase. Tells why. The running back celebrated with a touchdown dance for the fans. So the running back celebrated. Why? For the fans. For the fans. We have the preposition, which is for, and lo and behold, just a little obviously the preposition, nothing fancy. So that was a pretty easy, clear-cut prepositional phrase. I think that was our first prepositional phrase on this page. All right, and the last one, the defense pushed against the other team's offense to get to the quarterback. So why did the defense push against the other team's offense? To get to the quarterback. So once again, we have what type of Y block? We have to plus a verb. So that is an infinitive phrase that tells why. Next up, you've got one similar to this to practice. Let's practice just identifying infinitive phrases because that's the only type of phrase or clause that is part of a Y group that we need to, that's new, because we've got dependent clause, you know that one, and of course prepositional phrase, you know that one. So let's look at the infinitive phrase. And we're just going to practice finding them here and highlighting them in green. The astronauts suited up, boarded the rocket, and launched into space to explore the unknown. So the infinitive phrase is to explore the unknown. To explore, to, and then our verb. An infinitive phrase. In the dark cave, the adventurer shined his flashlight to find hidden treasure. So why did the adventurer shine his flashlight? To find hidden treasure. As the storm raged, the boy raced home to stay dry. As the storm raged tells us not how, when the boy raced home, how, why. As the storm raged, the boy raced home to stay dry. So why did the boy race home? To stay dry. That is our infinitive phrase. So go ahead and finish these. Find the infinitive phrase that each says. And once you have that down pat, we can... So we've got one more practice for today. And this includes only how and why sentence blocks, which we looked at today. And we're simply going to practice deciding if it's a how block, includes an adverb or a prepositional phrase, or if it's a Y block that includes a prepositional phrase or an infinitive phrase or a dependent clause. So let's get started. The first one is done for you in a calm manner, tells how, and it's a prepositional phrase. Looking at number 2, to avoid detention. So we have to plus a verb that is an infinitive phrase. So IP to tell us why. Why to avoid detention. Enthusiastically tells us how with an adverb. So how-ly. In complete silence, here we have in, which is a preposition. Silence is our object of the preposition. So how prepositional phrase. All right, so go ahead and finish this page here. And let's see how you do with the 20 how and why sentence blocks. And then tomorrow, we will review everything we've learned this week and take a little short, small, not scary quiz. On the quiz tomorrow, you will just need to be able to label sentences as we've done this week. But before the quiz, we are going to practice. So don't stress out. Just make sure that you review the different parts of the sentence and you come prepared tomorrow.